Jersey, about 10 million of us today marching.
Around the world, millions of people don't want this war.
We have never gotten...
Greetings and salutations, Truth Blitzers. It's your old cuz, Park Major, Tennessee's Truth-Slingin Soldier, loading up for episode 9 with more fire than a jalapeno in a skillet on a sweltering July afternoon down in the holler. You all ready to roast the biggest birthday bash since Nero fiddled while Rome burned to a crisp under a fiery sky? I'm talking about Donald J. Trump's Great Big Parade, a $45 million taxpayer-funded hoedown set to strut its stuff on June 14, 2025, which, wouldn't you know, lands smack dab on his 79th birthday and the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary. Coincidence? I reckon hogs will sprout wings and fly over the Smoky Mountains, doing loops around the moon, for I buy that load of bull gravy straight from a barnyard. This ain't no county fair with corn dogs, cotton candy, a Ferris wheel spinning under the stars, and a banjo player strumming Rocky Top till the cows come home. No siree, this is 6,600 soldiers marching in perfect step, 150 vehicles rolling like thunder on a stormy night, 50 helicopters whirring like a swarm of angry hornets in a kicked-over nest, and 25 Abrams tanks stomping through D.C. like it's Moscow on a Monday morning in the middle of a Soviet parade. Trump's calling the cost peanuts, but them peanuts cost more than a moonshine still in a dry county, hidden in the backwoods with a jug of the good stuff. $45 million, maybe even $92 million when the dust settles and the smoke clears over the Potomac. And who's footing the bill? You, me, and every hard-working soul from Los Angeles to New York, from the holler to the highway, from the Mississippi Delta to the Appalachian Trail, while Trump's DOGE crew, Department of Government Efficiency, more like gee, what a mess, carves up Medicaid like a Thanksgiving turkey at a family reunion, and starves kids abroad by slashing USAID programs faster than you can say bless their hearts. They're pitching it as the Army's big day, a grand old salute to our brave soldiers who've fought for freedom since 1775. But let's be clearer than a creek in June, after a spring rain has washed away the mud. This is Trump's Bow to Me Bonanza, a gold-plated ego fest shinier than a new penny at a county fair for a draft-dodging Don who skedaddled from Vietnam with bone spurs quicker than a cat fleeing a sprinkler on a hot summer day in the Tennessee heat. Folks on X are hotter than a firecracker on the 4th of July, popping off left and right, calling it dictator chic and authoritarian cosplay with hashtags flying faster than a jackrabbit on a date. Tennessee's own Representative Steve Cohen, bless his heart, dubbed it a waste of taxpayer dollars. Louder than a rooster at dawn, and slung the Happy Birthday Budget Act to hogtie this nonsense tighter than a calf at a rodeo on a Saturday night. Happy stands for halting all parades for President's yearly birthday. Now that's a knee slapper worth a barn dance under the stars with a fiddle playing in the background. Tonight we're ripping the glitter off Trump's tank-tastic tantrum with 4 segments sharper than a porcupine in a pickle jar at a county fair, ready to prick any balloon of lies that floats our way. We'll count the cost till your wallet weeps like a willow in a windstorm. Sniff the strongman stink that's funkier than a skunk in a smokehouse. Spotlight the protests, brewing like a storm in a teacup on a Tennessee porch, and ask, is this patriotism or a Putin-style power grab that'd make even a dictator blush? Grab your iced tea, hold tight, 'cause we're blitzing the truth like a mule kicking a barn door on a windy Tennessee morning, when the rooster's crowing and the sun's just peeking over the hills.
It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and unbelievers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on.
Welcome back, Blitzers, to the hottest truth-slinging show this side of the Mississippi. Let's talk cold, hard cash, because this parade's pricier than a rhinestone suit at a rodeo on the 4th of July with all the fixins. The Army's pegging this shindig at $25 to $45 million, but whispers round the campfire, passed from one old boy to another, reckon it could hit $92 million once D.C. sweeps up them tank-torn streets. Roads cracked worse than my granny's pie crust after a long day of bacon in her kitchen. That's enough to buy every Tennessean a hot chicken plate piled high with pickles, a jug of sweet tea to quench your thirst, a banjo to strum on the porch till the cows come home, and a new pair of boots to two-step at the honky-tonk on a Saturday night. Here's the tally. straight from the Army's lips to your ears like a telegram from the front lines. 1,600 troops, marching in perfect step, boots shining brighter than a new nickel, 150 vehicles rolling like thunder on a stormy night in the Smokies, 50 aircraft buzzing overhead like a swarm of bees at a picnic, and 25 M1 Abrams tanks heavier than my Uncle Cletus's Sunday supper after he's had thirds of Mama's fried chicken, mashed taters, and gravy. They're bunking 5,000 soldiers in USDA and GSA buildings like it's a military campout under the stars, munching MREs, meals ready to eat. But I bet they're tasting more like cardboard than cornbread, and dreaming of Mama's cornbread with a pat of butter melting on top fresh from the oven. Trump calls it peanuts. But them peanuts could hire 1,000 nurses to heal the sick in hospitals from Memphis to Chattanooga, feed 10,000 school kids with growing bellies who need a hot meal to learn, or buy 45 million biscuits at Loveless Cafe to feed the whole darn state till we're fuller than a tick on a hound dog. Yet here's Trump, with his DOGE posse led by Elon Muskrat Musk, hacking $1 trillion from Medicaid and axing USAID's child feeding programs faster than you can say, bless your heart, at a church potluck. Representative Kamliger Dove on X hollered louder than a banjo at a barn dance. Tell me again about government waste, fraud, and abuse? I'll tell you, darling. It's right here in this tanktacular tantrum, sitting pretty like a peacock in a pageant. This ain't fiscal smarts, it's fiscal folly, like buying a diamond-crusted saddle for a one-trick pony that can't even trot, let alone gallop. And the irony's thicker than molasses, in a snowstorm on a January morning in the Tennessee hills. Trump, who's trimming veteran programs faster than a barber with a buzzsaw at a county fair on a busy Saturday, wants to honor the military. As X's at VoteVets put it, this ain't about service. It's pure authoritarian cosplay for a fellow who'd rather salute his hairdo in a gold-framed mirror than a hero who's fought for our freedom on battlefields far and wide. Hang tight, because we're diving deeper than a hound dog in a holler on a moonlit night when the whippoorwills are singing their lonesome song.
Finally, you will be free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you are the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others.
Alrighty. And welcome back, y'all, to the Truth Blitz, where we sling more truth than a preacher on a Sunday morning. Let's take a big ol' whiff, because this parade's got a dictatorish stink funkier than a skunk in a smokehouse at a church picnic on a hot August day. Trump's been hankering for tanks since he swooned over France's Bastille Day parade back in 2017, gawking like a kid at a candy counter with a pocket full of nickels and a sweet tooth bigger than the Grand Ole Opry. Now he's got 25 tanks rolling down Pennsylvania Avenue, 50 choppers buzzing like a swarm of locusts, and 6,600 troops marching on his birthday. Smells like Pyongyang with a dollop of Mar-a-Lago mayo on a golden platter, served with a side of ego as big as the Tennessee River. Critics ain't holding back, and I don't blame them one bit. They're speaking truth faster than a fiddle at a hoedown. MSNBC's Ezra Levin called it ripped straight from the authoritarian playbook, like it was torn from the pages of a dictator's diary. Whoopi Goldberg on The View said it's all about Trump's ego, not honor for our troops, and she hit that nail square on the head. X's at VoteVets branded it dictator cosplay, pointing out Trump dodged Vietnam with bone spurs, but now wants to play Generalissimo Glitter in a shiny uniform with medals he never earned. I reckon if Trump loves soldiering so much, why'd he duck 5 deferments faster than a possum dodging a pickup on a backwoods road with the headlights blazing? This ain't his first rodeo, neither, and he's got the scars to prove it. In 2018, Trump pined for tanks at his Salute to America, dreaming of a parade that'd make even the most patriotic eagle blush. But he settled for a dialed-down show, because of costs and strongman vibes, that made folks squirm in their boots. Now he's hijacking the Army's 250th anniversary, a milestone for our brave soldiers, for a golden comb-over extravaganza, while slashing budgets like a butcher at a barn dance on a Saturday night, leaving nothing but scraps for the dogs. Charles Blow on CNN said, "We don't need a military parade," and I holler, "Amen, brother," louder than a congregation at a tent revival. Unless it's to parade Trump's ego back to the golf course where it belongs, with a caddy and a set of clubs to keep it company. Next, we'll see who's fighting back with all they've got, from the streets of D.C. to the hills of Tennessee.
Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck.
Back at you, Blitzers. While Trump's polishing his parade floats, the folks are planning a ruckus of their own, and it ain't got no balloons. On June 14th, No Kings Day protests are storming D.C. and 30 states, led by the No Kings Coalition shouting, "In America, we don't bow to kings." They're marching from Meridian Hill Park to the National Mall, waving signs sharper than a cactus in a coonskin cap. The Freedom Road Socialist Organization's Andy Koch says it's about ditching Trump and the war machine. X's at RPS Against Trump warned of massive protests, and they ain't fibbing. Folks are madder than a hornet in a hurricane. Representative Steve Cohen's Happy Birthday Budget Act aims to lasso this hogwash, calling out Trump's insatiable ego. Even Quakers are hoofing 300 miles from NYC to D.C., saying this parade's as welcome as a weevil in a biscuit barrel. Trump's shrugging it off like lint on a cheap suit, claiming it's not necessarily about his birthday. Sure, Don, and I'm the next Dolly Parton. This parade's got more ego than a rooster in a henhouse, and the people ain't buying it. Stick around for our big finish.
I don't give a fuck.
Alrighty, I'm back, Blitzers, to tie this hog-tied mess with a bow prettier than a Tennessee sunset over the Cumberland Plateau on a clear summer evening. Is Trump's parade a star-spangled shindig or a power grab slicker than a snake oil peddler at a county fair with a bottle of promises? Let's reckon it up like a tab at a honky-tonk after a long night of dancing. On one side, Trump and Defense Secretary Hedgehog Hegseth claim it's about honoring the Army's 250th with tanks rolling, jets flying, and a fireworks finale brighter than the 4th of July over the Mississippi River. Sounds dandy as a peach cobbler fresh from the oven, till you spot the $45 million price tag, steeper than a hill in the Smokies, and Trump's birthday candles on the cake, making it sweeter for him than for our troops who've earned the real honor. On the other side, you got taxpayers footing the bill, while Trump cuts veterans' funds and starves kids overseas faster than you can say yeehaw at a rodeo. You got protests ready to drown out them tanks with no kings chants louder than a banjo at a barn dance on a moonlit night. And you got Trump, a draft dodger who'd rather play golf than fight, playing Patton while D.C.'s roads crack, like my granny's cornbread on a bad bacon day when the oven's acting up. This ain't patriotism. It's a Putin-inspired, ego-inflated, taxpayer-deflated fiasco that's got folks madder than a wet hen in a hailstorm on a stormy afternoon in the Tennessee hills. So, Blitzers, hit them comments below with all you've got. Is this parade a salute to soldiers or a serenade to Trump's vanity, played on a fiddle made of taxpayer tears? Call your congressman, back Representative Cohen's bill, and join No King's Day to holler louder than a hound dog on a hunt. No thrones, no crowns, no clowns. We're out of here. But the truth keeps galloping like a tank on a taxpayer's dime, rolling through the hills of Tennessee faster than a jackrabbit on a date. Catch y'all next time on Truth Blitz. Peace out and God bless from your old pal Park Major, slinging truth till the cows come home.
Now start cleaning your time and your mental well-being by saying no more. No more. Say it loudly and proudly. In other words, fuck you.